So when he's here, if you guys watch the Green Room episode we did, you'll understand my point. And I'll say a few things. I don't know for sure if it was staged, but what I know is they didn't confirm the hotel that we got for them. They had initially asked that we get them a flight for the morning of and leaving immediately after the show. It's not possible to do that. So they said, okay, then the next morning is fine. When they arrived and the person coordinating says, I have your address, they said, don't worry about it. So after everything goes down, I'm told we never actually gave them the address to where they were staying the night. They didn't want it. And they had a jet already waiting for them at Frederick with a crew available and ready to go. And there was paparazzi outside. So I'm like, I don't know, man. But if you watch the Green Room episode, you'll see that Ye was very calm, asking us questions, smile on his face, talking about everything. And there was like no issue. But as soon as the camera turns on and we go live on the show, his demeanor flips.
I got to talk about Nazism, man, because this has like been around for
we're just talking about what?
We'll wraps into what Kanye and everything. It's all in the vein, Tim. Don't worry, I got you, baby.
I got you, baby. I like that.
Not
Sublime shirts.
Being racist is legal in the American Republic. Breaking down buildings, smashing buildings, burning buildings is something that Nazis did. And that's also something that happened 2 years ago. Kanye was not burning down buildings. Kanye was being racist, if you want to call the Jewish people a race, which I also have issues with. Because I think if you don't believe in God, you're not Jewish. The tenet of being Jewish is that you believe in a God and you understand what it is. And if you, just because of who your parents are in your social club, it's not a social club. You don't be violent. Do not. Those are the things. I mean, you're allowed to talk and say. That's the great.
So, well, that's why hate speech should be allowed, because there's bad stuff you can hate, in the world. So you should be able to hate bad stuff. So that's why you should be able to have hate speech, but you shouldn't be able to incite any sort of violence.
Yeah, Laura Loomer came on the show, and she was like, hey, guys, I'm Jewish. I was debanged.
Listen to this. I got to bring up Laura Loomer. I want to shout her out. So she's spreading this thing in Telegram today that Marjorie Taylor Greene and I had a sexual affair. So I just want to debunk that.
Did you?
Even though Marjorie is a beautiful lady. And I'll be honest, I would if I could, but I haven't. So I can't. So, that's the real facts. But I'll be honest, this is the sad reality for Congresswoman Greene. For me, even if we did have sex, I'm saying for me to leak it, that would be huge. That'd be great, right? For her, it only, hurts her. I just want to say the God's honest truth. It didn't happen. I'd probably leak it if it did, is my point.
AOC would be mad at you.
Exactly. So that's why it's not true. But I just hate it for her because it's just so provably false. And she's the one that looks bad for, even sleeping with this pile of junk Primetime 99, even though I'm a pimp on a blimp. A lot of ladies want to take a ride. Still, it just makes her look bad because I'm just a, Joe Blow comedian from Dallas, Texas.
How is any of this real life? This week has been wild, really crazy.
Do you think it's okay? This is a vague question. Do you think it's a simulation for real? Like this?
I don't know.
I don't know. I almost believe in reincarnation. I do believe in the creator. They're like, I really hate, I talk about this all the time, the idea of the Big Bang and that we evolved from pond scum and that just nothing, literally like everything came from nothing over time. Just for me, doesn't even vibe.
But you got to get way more nuanced than that, because I think the idea of like evolution and pond scum can be the how and not the why. Like,
but even abiogenesis, we can't recreate that. I mean, it's just the fact that like you think every single person here, you and me, the cat, like you see that cat, it's so beautiful. It's just such a beautiful creature. Like we are not the same. It's just I just do believe there is a creator. And does that mean that there's more levels to this? I just do believe there is.
I feel like this is a God thing. Like this really is. We're part of something which is God's, the consciousness of real God. Like it is there. Yeah. This is which turns out Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they were all right.
Oh, great. You got Ian started now.
So Kanye's going through some like channeling, and it's coming out all wrong in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways not, but in a lot of ways it's coming out wrong.
Let me tell you. I was watching this interview with Ye and Jones and Fuentes, and I said, these are three guys who are having everything taken away from them. Ye is gonna lose his kids. Maybe what happened. So I was just talking about how his demeanor was so different. He was on his phone the whole time. The show starts, he's totally different. Maybe that's when he found out about his kids. He mentioned something to us before the show about
his wife's lawyer being really good. Yeah. Like he looked at me, he was like, "Damn, my wife's lawyer is really good."
It looks like he got a good deal though. He got 50-50 with $200K a month
Well, but my point is, he's sitting here right before the show starts, and everything was fine. He gets mad and leaves. May had nothing to do with us at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it was planned. Maybe because he's on his phone, he gets that message. I get it. So he's a guy who then says on the show, they're trying to put me in jail. They're freezing my accounts. He's going through a divorce. They're taking everything away from him. They're saying, Adidas tries stealing the name of his shoes. Alex Jones, they're coming after for $2.75 trillion. And Fuentes at one point was banned from flying. You take three guys who have nothing left to lose, and you'll get this or more. And this is why I oppose cancel culture, and I say we should be having conversations with these people. Let them come in to the circle and work out the issues. Because if you just say never, not a chance, then they'll go wherever they can go and they'll say, we have nothing to lose, and they'll just do whatever they want.
Well, that's what's kind of sucked too about that interview. As soon as Nick was going to talk, which everybody wants to hear from Nick, I mean, he's one of the most polarizing people within any political ideology, whether you're on the left-leaning or right-leaning. And as soon as he's about to say something, then Kanye leaves. It just sucks. Nick is so interesting. He's one of the most interesting people, whether you like him or not. And it just kind of sucks that we miss out on that opportunity, even as much as almost as Kanye, because when you listen to Kanye talk, he can't articulate his opinions. That's my opinion. Even though Kanye's a brilliant artist, I just don't think publicly speaking on these subjects in a long-form podcast is his specialty.
Yeah. It seems like he almost wants to get canceled. He was wearing a Balenciaga mask today on the Alex Jones interview. When he was here, he was wearing a Balenciaga jacket. People are getting canceled because they don't disavow Balenciaga. He's still wearing it as he's talking about the most craziest, outlandish things that he knows will get people talking about it, will get people riled up. Some people are saying that this is a deliberate suicide of his career. I think that's also another possibility here. Some people are saying that there's clear, problems mentally here. Who knows? I don't know. I can't really quantify it. I'm just kind of,
why is he
just shocked at all this, to be honest with you.
Why is he wearing a Balenciaga mask?
It's a GIMP mask.
It's Balenciaga.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Balenciaga
it's $160 Balenciaga mask.
I think he's indicating that he's been gimped by that establishment.
Maybe.
I think that's what that is supposed to represent.
I mean, he's worn it for concerts before as well, mind you.
And then Jones even made the point, is it really even him? He said, maybe he'll take the mask off. Is it really even Ye here?
He's not Andy Kaufman, Tony Clifton. That'd be brilliant if he did. I mean, then they say there's like, the real conspirator, is he a clone? I mean, I don't believe that either. But I mean, he's Kanye. He's not in his right state of mind. And his mom did die. That messes you up. I know that's not an excuse for him to act insane and become a radical Nazi. But I don't think he really is. I think he's a little misunderstood as well, as crazy as he's being right now.
Regarding this I want a question for you particularly about becoming like the Andy Kaufman character, becoming the villain for society for them to focus on. I kind of did that in 2010. It didn't work out. Like I just upset the environment instead of like creating a bunch of good around me. But do you think that he or Nick or Milo are doing that? And do you think that there's any value to it?
No, because it's like, I'm not an expert, but it's Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. And that's kind of like using the left's, guidebook against him. And like, they would use creativity to protest and stuff. Him speaking about it, he needs to be using his best methodology, which would be music, to get his point across. So he's not doing that. So he's just being... It's a waste of talent. But in Saul's, in Saul Alinsky's rules for radical, it's like you accuse the people of what you're actually doing. So he's not being nuanced. He's not being smart. He's just being like, Hitler, quote unquote, in a video game. I don't want to get in trouble. But he's saying, Kanye West, I don't want them to edit this, is saying Hitler is, not a bad person. So that is what Kanye West is saying. And that is just nobody is ever going to jive with that under any circumstance.
So I think it was really good that Alex Jones had them on, because look at what we got to see. Everybody can make up their mind about exactly what happened. And I believe this is a strong argument for free speech. If Alex was censored and they were and they were just hanging out in his living room saying all this stuff, nobody would have any idea what Ye believed and what Ye was working on or working towards or who he was associating with. You might like who he's, whatever. He's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to being a human and believing what he wants to believe. Because Alex Jones had them on to talk about it, they just said everything. Yeah. Now, I'm curious your thoughts about Alex Jones's demeanor, I suppose. And I'll just come out and say, when Kanye outright says, he denies certain elements of the Holocaust, I'll put it that way. Alex Jones just says, oh yeah, Reagan said that, and then what does Jones say? That I think Hitler did target and kill some people. And it's just like, can't Jones just come out more definitively and be like, look, man, You know, like there's people on record, there's historical record. What do you guys think about, you know, how he handled the interview?
Well, there's also that thing when you have guests on your show, you're trying to be nice to them. So I don't know, maybe he's just trying to, you know, appease his guests. That's no excuse. But I've talked to Alex. I've been on his show. He always does that, and I know Luke has a relationship with him. But and this is once again, I'm I am defending everybody tonight, but I'm almost doing it to be, you know, contrarian. But I think Alex Jones is very nice to his guests. He wants to please Kanye. He realizes this is huge for him. This is a huge bump. So he realizes, you know, business-wise, this would be a very key relationship for him to build. So I think that's why he's trying to appease to him. But also, you can have that caveat. Oh well, you know, he didn't go full. What did they say in that movie, Tropical Thunder?
Yes.
It takes a lot to leave Alex Jones speechless and uncomfortable because of speech, and Kanye West did it. And Alex had an easy way out here. I think, you know, you should always be genuine when you're doing these type of broadcasts. If anyone here says something that I disagree with, I'm going to bring it up and say, hey, I see things differently. We have discussions, we have debates, we have arguments all the time here on this broadcast because we're honest with each other. We're genuine. And I felt like Alex was kind of going along with it and feeling extremely uncomfortable, not knowing what to do, not disagreeing, not pushing back a lot. He did say that Ye has a Hitler fetish. He did push back a little bit, but when we're talking about these short clips making the rounds on the internet, there's just something there that you always got to kind of point out, being like, hey, are you on the side of Prescott Bush? Hey, are you on the side of Margaret Sanger, George Soros, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because these figures also endorsed this larger ideology that now you're promoting. You're really with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who says he really loves, he really adored and liked, you know, Hitler, and had a father that was also tied to the SS. I confronted Arnold Schwarzenegger about this face-to-face, by the way, in one of my YouTube videos on We Are Change. But again, that could have been a very easy out for Jones, but he didn't do it, which was weird.
I think if Alex probably thought if he told Kanye, no, Hitler did kill 6 million Jews, that Kanye would have got up and walked out. Like, he's probably like, oh, well, how do I not make Kanye walk out?
I mean, and guys, and that, once again, I carry the water, but Alex Jones is arguably one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. And when it comes to internet and comes to Legendary and comes to Alex Jones was right and some of the stuff that he foresaw, but right now he is slipping. He's under, you know, so much stress with all these constant lawsuits. So that's what I'm saying. He's not his normal self. So
too.
Yeah, either. Both of them. That's why they're both kind of a little desperate right now. Just you know, to defend them a little bit, their behavior.
When Ye came in to do the show on Monday, he was like, they're trying to put me in jail. We're like, what are you talking about? He's like, they're trying to hit me with
that
big
Harley,
tax bill.
and that Harley Pasternak guy, which Luke brought up, that worked for the Canadian military PSYOP, you know, organization, whatever it was, did say like, oh, we're going to put you on drugs and your visits with your children are going to be terrible. That's weird. That's psychological manipulation when you throw in the kids. That's what like an ex-wife does, you know, especially with like the trans stuff. That's what happens in a lot of the instances where there's a young kid that's, you know, transitioning. It's oftentimes like a parent that has beef with the other parent. And there's a parent encouraging it. Yeah, that's oftentimes the case.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get,
horrible.
man. He got drugged in 2018 or whenever that was. They drugged him up. He's in a place that I don't think many humans can identify with personally because he's such a focal point and that kind of stress, you know. And then to think that handlers might actually not have your best interests in mind, that's just going to mess people up. But hearing that they were going to hit him with a $50 million or however much this tax bill was is like, that's probably what was going through his mind.
50 million, I think.
That's nuts. That's like what kind of stress that would put somebody under.
Yep. Yeah, and they can just say it, and what do you do? Like, oh, you owe us this money, and that's what we talked about, the 87,000 IRS agents, and this is the thing they do. You'll be like, you're working class. One day you get a letter in the mail saying, you know, we don't have to audit you. You just owe us $600, and then what do? You're not gonna. You have to pay it. They can just do that, and that's. I think everybody understands the stresses of dealing with the IRS.
And they do it already, and they're going to be doing it a lot more, especially if you don't report anything. You know, over $600, you're going to be in trouble. They're going to punish you, which is crazy.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.